Some people treat little aches and pains like they do the warning lights in their car. If they go away, it must be no big deal, and taking the car in for service can be expensive. But not getting a regular tune-up can lead to disaster. Our next guest says the same is true for your body. Dr. Timothy Quinn is here to tell us why it's important to get checked out. And in that regard, we're talking about your body and not your car in this case.
That is
but
correct.
There's some similarities, you say.
Well, I write for the Clarion Ledger, and I wrote a story recently about an experience that I had.
With your car?
My car, right. When I was in residence, I used to drive a Mercedes. But a resident, you know, we don't make a lot of money, so it was a used Mercedes with no type of warranty. Mm-hmm. So every time the light went off, I'd take it in, and, you know, the mechanics say, all right, here he comes, you know, $300, $400, $500. So the light went off, and another time, and I was like, well, look, I'm not taking this car in, okay? I'm just going to ignore it. And I drove around for about a month, and, you know, it made funny sounds, and I drove it around for about 2 more months, and it just stopped. Mm-hmm. Well, first I had the car towed in, and the mechanics looked at it, and they said, well, it's going to cost about $5,000 to get this car fixed. And they were like, well, why didn't you bring it in earlier? And I told them that I figured it'd be okay.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out I never saw that car again.
It was too far gone because you had waited too long
ignored
to get it fixed.
I figured it'd be okay. And the reason I tell that story, I use a lot of analogies in my articles in the Clarion Ledger. Say, for instance, someone has pain in their leg. It could be a deep venous thrombosis, which could break off and go to the lungs, cause a pulmonary embolism or a stroke. It could kill you. Or say you have like some numbness and tingling of your extremities. It could be diabetes. And if caught early, you know, you could start treatment and, you know, cut out a lot of the late clinical manifestations such as blindness or even loss of a kidney.
So the bottom line is that some of these things you're talking about, little aches and pains that might seem inconsequential, could be like the warning lights in the car.
Exactly.
That if you ignore them and let it get too far down the road, you might have to get yourself towed in.
Exactly.
And you don't want that to happen.
No, we don't want that to happen.
So do you just call up the doctor and make just an appointment for a checkup, or what's the best thing to do?
Well, I mean, you're supposed to get your checkup every year, regardless. But, you know, like we're saying, if you have some pain, say abdominal pain, you know, it could be appendicitis in the early stage. So if you have anything going on, you know, that does not feel right, it might not be right.
So don't be afraid to check with the
Don't be a macho man. Just go ahead and get checked out.
All right. You might regret it down the road.
Exactly.
You can get in touch with Dr. Quinn here by calling 601-899-5300 there at Quinn Healthcare on Avery Boulevard in Ridgeland. Timothy Quinn, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We'll be back with our lunch break after this.